Welcome to Cosmos with Bailey. I'm just recording on my phone because the sound is better and also the quality is better. So, my name's Bailey. I'm a clairvoyant, psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. And today's video is going to be on Herbal Helping Hands from the spirit realms and from my dream time, and navigating nefarious and manipulative spirits, or when you've moved through a certain threshold and you're finishing off a state of energy and clearing and clarifying your energy body, and you need some help in finishing off and releasing energetic ties or little bits of energy that seem to interfere when you are pretty clear and clarified within. But also the herbs that came through to me and the herbs that I've used, these are also really, really good for psychic clarity and psychic boundaries. So if you ever feel the need to go and see a healer, all healers have different expertise and ways of which they deliver their services, and you should never be going to any type of spiritual healer a lot. One session should be enough to get your energies aligned and get you empowered with your own tips, tricks, and tools. So you should never, you should always tune into yourself first, even with anything I say here online, and see if that is actually for you, because I use your common sense, because a lot of the videos that I put up online are very, very generalized. They are not tailored to you, the individual that's watching. So that's something that you have to keep in mind when it comes to ingesting spiritual stuff online, or following a healer or a psychic or whatnot, and that what they're saying you can decipher if it is for you or not, because it's a little too easy in today's modern world to watch things on the internet and sort of ingest someone else's beliefs and take them on as your own, and sort of almost be held, like governed by someone else's idea of what spirituality is and whatnot. And working as a psychic and doing readings and whatnot, you really see the vastness and energies and how we uniquely experience life. And so, it's about respecting what you're feeling, and allowing other people their experiences as well. So I'm glad I said that. But so I've been moving through the process of cleansing and clearing energies and doing a lot of womb healing with my own womb healing module that I received. But also what started coming through to me in my dream times was dreams about plants. And I know in a past life I did run a herbal shop in medieval times. That came back up for me. So that's how I know. But the herbs that the herbs I'm going to talk about, you can find these herbs at your local apothecary or at your local herbal shop, or I got something down at the Chemist Warehouse. So this is herbs that are sold, in the everyday real world common sense shops. They're not herbs that you should be ingesting and having psychedelics on. This isn't plant medicine. This is basic common sense. If you are a woman or you have a wife that has a herbal garden, she gives you concoctions and you know that they work. There's very, very high levels of intuitive capabilities that open up and clear when you start working with the plant spirits, or I would say I like to say nature spirits. I feel like the plant medicine, plant spirit thing has gotten taken way out of hand. So I'll just say nature spirits, and what those herbs work with and entail on a psychic and energetic and emotional level. So the number one that I'm going to talk about first is mugwort. And a lot of people, I don't know anything about mugwort until I heard myself, you need to take mugwort. And I wasn't into herbs prior to this, and I tried to stay off the internet and let myself have the own energetic experience with the herb, because there's so many people out there that talk about, oh, it's this, and this, or it means this, or it's detox this. But when I ingested mugwort, and I did it by tea, having a tea twice a day, I started having womb clearings happen in the sacral chakra, or the womb chakra that's just underneath or behind the sacral chakra. And it started clearing out energies that were manipulative. And then I also started dreamt of milk thistle. So I went and got a milk thistle tincture, and I do that twice a day. And then I also nutmeg, and then what was the next one that I'm after? Elderberry, an elderberry tincture. But the nutmeg, the mugwort, and the milk thistle did this thing energetically in my aura where it sort of made this boundary very, very clear as to what was mine and what was, and it's a feminine way of working with the spiritual energies. I talk a lot about going with, and you need to go through that process of the boundaries being like, no thank you, until you've got a really strong solar plexus. And the milk thistle and the mugwort and the nutmeg together cleared out and made me feel very, very aware of others' belief systems and others' I want to say trying to impose their ways onto my energy. And usually when there's manipulative people, there'll be manipulative spirits behind them and their behaviors. And so I was picking up a lot of stuff about some things, and just these herbs started to cleanse and clear and create this very graceful boundary without me needing to do anything. And it also, I swear that those nature spirits, and if you have that connection to the earthly spiritual realm, it adds more psychic protection to the aura and your feminine energy. And I don't know how this would affect masculine energy. I assume things like mugwort and milk thistle and nutmeg will affect the masculine energy differently. But this is a very feminine way of getting boundaries, and that the boundaries isn't necessarily being like it's more so like, actually, I can see there's manipulative energies happening here. Let me ingest this tea, and then this energy will know to float away. And that's sort of what happened there with the herbals and whatnot. It was a very graceful discern. Like, it wasn't me. It was very energetic. And it was like experiencing a bunch of beliefs, or just from being in it, and just leaving my aura and my thought field almost, because I talked about how the mind was one part of it, but what's going on in your energy body and your chakra system that's making you think and feel certain things, and who's in your ear telling you things, but you need to say this. And the milk thistle and specifically helped with the solar plexus and getting confidence and boundaries. And I would say psychic, navigating psychic delusion, and really seeing what was behind something. That helps me clarify a lot of what my own intuitions were. But it's like I couldn't see through this fog that was around me of thoughts and beliefs and whatnot. And so it clarified a lot for me, the milk thistle and the mugwort and the nutmeg and the feminine essence. And I think with the milk thistle, with the solar plexus, if you're not ready for truth of the energies of situations, I would not take milk thistle, because that is going to illuminate and clear where your weak boundaries are and what's going on in that person and what you shouldn't be going with. Solar plexus, I was also struggling with like this psychic interference, or this really strong deliberate attack on my personal power outside of me. And I finally, that karmic connection just finally let itself go. But I also had some residue of feeling fearful about choosing for myself. What's going to happen if I do that? And so the milk thistle helped clean and clarify my solar plexus back to its vibrant self. I would say when you incarnate, everyone incarnates with a healthy soul. Not everyone. But if you come in with a very high energy or a very strong life force, your solar plexus is going to be naturally vibrant. And what happens is we incarnate and we experience all this disempowerment and whatnot, and it disrupts our natural confidence. And there's a lot of negative, nasty spirits around that can interfere on your life path. milk thistle really clarified for me what was my life path and what was someone else's life path, and what was my business and what was not my business. And the milk thistle did it in a way that just cleared psychic distortion, I think, but it wasn't my own psychic distortion. And milk thistle also is like, stop being so nice. There's a big thing with spirituality and being nice. And yeah, okay, what else? So mugwort, I would say, is deep on the sacral chakra, the heavy sacral chakra, opening and clearing out behavioral melandries and the feminine essence like anger, irritation, and frustration. Milk thistle helped me to feel those emotions and then express the boundary. No, thank you. I'm done with this. You're starting to annoy me. I am feeling this and that. That means that I've had enough of this person's energy. And we don't really learn, like, we can help Herbal Helping Hands help us to understand things more clearly. I really do feel like working with herbs clarifies so much spiritual and energetic miasma or just illusion within yourself and what's going on outside of you. So milk thistle is a really good one. You can buy it in a tincture just at the chemist, but use your discernment and your intuition. Nutmeg also did some clearing in the sacral for me. And yeah, I'd say if you've got a very strong connection to the nature spirits or an understanding of herbs in some way, those boundaries are going to come in really handy over the next few years, because I think there's going to be a lot of more stuff come up, and there's been a lot of talk in my psychic arena about beefing up boundaries, discernment, and if you're full of light and love and passion and energy and creativity, and you're wanting to move out of that suffering, you have to be like, the more light and creativity and positivity and peace you hold, the stronger boundaries you need to have. And I think sometimes we think, oh, love and light, spirituality, but the stronger your life force and your spirit and your creativity and your happiness and your positivity and your peace is, the more you're going to be more discerning with it, because you want to have a good life. So once you understand, and Herbal Helping Hands can help you understand things with clarity and peace and ease. This is the feminine way. And they can clarify, lies and help you see the truth clearly without you trying to cloud it with being nice or this or that. So milk thistle clarifies, empowers, and understand. Mugwort is very feminine. It had a lot to do with the mother energy and embodying my own energy, and not behavioral from past ancestral stuff. And there's also past relationships in there, and there's a lot that goes on in the womb space that I think mugwort would help. Okay, anything else with the Herbal Helping Hands? Yeah, that feels about it to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful.